Ladies and gentlemen, from Detroit, Michigan, no stranger to the stage, Eddie Hejka. Come on up, Eddie! Come on, everybody, make some noise for the first one tonight. Come on! Come on, Eddie. All right, you know that TV show, I think it's called What Would You Do, where they hire a few actors and they put them in a public place and one of them starts spouting racist or misogynist or bigoted comments over and over to one of the other actors, and then they film to see how people, the bystanders, if they're going to intervene, how they're going to react. You know that show, right? Yeah, I hate that show. Because it's nothing like real life. You know, in real life, you're walking through a situation, you think you see something, overhear something, you're like, did I see what I think I see? And then you got to filter it through your own biases, and then you got to decide if you're going to intervene or not, or how you're going to intervene, and if you intervene, is it going to make it better, or is it going to make it worse? Though I have intervened a number of times over the years in different situations, but the one thing I've learned, even when the situation seems obvious, it isn't always clear. Like this one time, way back, I was a young man, 1984, I was living over on 12th Street, Rosa Parks, near Old Tiger Stadium, not Comerica, Tiger Stadium. And that was the year, 84, they were in first place from opening day till they won the World Series. And every home game, that place was packed with 50-some thousand people. And, the upper deck bleachers, they fit like 10,000 people in on those old wooden benches, and tickets were like just $4. And the place would be, beer would be flowing, the place would be rocking. I mean, like literally rocking. And, moreover, in the seventh inning, they'd open up these big rolling gates, so these rowdy fans could easily exit. Of course, I lived a few blocks away, so they opened up the gate, seventh inning, I'd just walk in. Catch seventh, eighth, ninth inning for free. So I'm independent like that. But one day, I'm walking in with a friend of mine, Casey, and we just get into the stadium, about to head up the ramp to the upper deck, and she taps me on the shoulder and says, Eddie, look. And I looked to my left, about 12 feet away. There's a big guy, about 6'2", 6'3". I remember he had short blonde hair, and I remember he had like a sleeveless t-shirt, because you see his big bulging muscles, big bicep, his big forearm, and he's got his hand wrapped around the neck of this woman as he's cursing at her, this quiet, angry face, and he's choking her up against this post, and behind him is this guy like 50 years old pleading with them. He's like, John, don't do this. But the old guy just looked helpless. And the woman's grasping his forearm and just looks terrified. And before I know it, I'm heading straight towards him. I'm like, shit, what am I doing? Because he's like 6, 7 inches taller than me. He's got like 50 pounds of muscles on me. So I try to make myself sound really big. I say, put her down! And it startled him, and he released his grip a little bit, and her feet come down to the ground. And I'm thinking, good. But he looks at me, and he does his 1 second assessment of me. He figures I'm no threat, and I'm like half his size. He goes right back to choking her, and So I hit him. And I didn't punch him in the face or give him a good kidney punch, which looking back might have been a better thing to do. I just took my forearm, and I brought it up, and it hit his arm, and it flew up in the air, releasing her, so she comes down to the ground. And I'm like, all right. But now he looks at me, and all that rage that had been directed at her is now directed at me. And he's like, you hit me? You hit me? And he swings that fist at me, and I back up, and he misses. He steps forward with his fist cocked again. And the woman stands up, and she starts screaming at me, telling me, this is none of your business. What are you doing? And I'm thinking, oh, geez, I'm going to fight or run. And he steps toward me with all this anger, and all of a sudden his face changes to pleading. And he says, this guy hit me. I don't even know who he is. He just came out of nowhere and just hit me. And I'm surrounded by 3 security guards. Apparently, they were coming up behind me, and he saw him, and like the abusive manipulator he clearly was, he went from rage to, oh, this guy of my size is picking on me. And I'm like, shit, I'm out of here. And I turned to walk away, and they grabbed me. And one on each side grabs my arm, and the head security guard's behind me. He goes, you're not going anywhere. You're being detained. I'm like, shit. My friend Casey's trying to tell him, but now there's a big, loud crowd all around us. And I'm trying to tell him what's going on. I look over my shoulder, and I look over the head security guy's shoulder, and I'm trying to yell at him that he was choking this woman. And as I look over his shoulder, I see this guy is right back against the post, got his hand wrapped around her neck again, and is choking her again. I said, look, he's choking her again. And all three must have looked at the same time because they ran right towards him. And I look at Casey, and we ran up that ramp so quick. And that's why I hate that show. It's nothing like real life.